Hello and welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today we are talking about my MWS again. This time though, slightly more upsetting. It was having a few problems at the weekend. And it's a problem that I've run into previously when I first got this MWS after like maybe a year or so. I was having problems with the hammer and the gun was basically running on in semi-auto. So when I got back from my game on Sunday, the first thing I did was tried to replicate the problem, because it wasn't actually me that was using this gun. I'd lent it to a friend. He said he was shooting on semi-auto and it was firing 3 or 4 shots with each trigger pull, but inconsistently. So yeah, the last time I had this problem, I went in and changed the hammer, and that essentially resolved it. And 4 years later, I'm running into a similar problem again. So this is more going to be, this isn't necessarily like, well, maybe this is how to fix it. I'm going to show you what my first things to do when you get any kind of problem like this should be. So I know that there shouldn't be anything wrong with this gun. There's no reason that it should be running on. So I'm just going to have to assume in here that it's either wear or tear, damage, or the most likely option, it's filthy. It's dirty and it just needs a clean. So I know a lot of people are probably a little bit nervous about digging into the Marui trigger box. It's actually a pretty self-contained unit. It's not too scary to dive into, but for the most part, you won't even need to do that. Most of the issues that I've ever had with my MWS have been resolved with a can of silicone spray and the liberal application of such. So I'm going to go grab my silicone, and I'm going to show you how I basically spray out the trigger box. What I'm going to try and do basically is fire so much silicone oil, and people are going to hate this, and that's fine, but when your gun's not working, if you want it to work again, this is the fastest way. And it stops you from either having to order parts, which may not actually be the root cause of the problem, saves you time. Basically, just this should probably be your first port of call. I know that like filling your rifle up with silicone spray probably isn't top of your list, but you're just gonna have to do it. What I'm gonna do first is, look, I'm gonna cut in some footage now of me using the gun and having that run-on problem, and there you go. So let's see what this is actually doing. I don't doubt that it is gonna do something. Yeah. Okay. Right, fine. Well, there we go. It's running on. He's right. So yeah, you can see the problem that was going on there. The gun running on. It's not supposed to do that. I'm now going to do my usual solution on this, which is going to be not to take it apart, just to fill it up with silicone and let all of that dirt and grease and nastiness just drain through the system and come out underneath here, like where the trigger is. And it's going to be pretty grim, but it's going to save me a lot of time, and experience tells me that this may very well fix my problem, or at least fix it, you know, for a good while. So let me go grab my bits and we're going to do this now. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my favourite material, toilet paper, and we're just going to put it underneath here, because basically we're going to spray everything in the top here. So I've got some, probably the only Nutrol product that I actually use is the silicone spray, because you kind of can't really fuck that up. So right, let's get in here. So I'm pressing it really hard. I'm using this literally as a cleaning agent. I'm not going in here with degreasers or anything like that. What I'm doing is I'm trying to fire it between, like so, into these gaps. So make sure that it's getting right down into the main trigger system. What I'm then going to do is basically pull the trigger and fire more down into those gaps there. But you can see I'm trying to, it's pretty long, obviously with these pressurized cans, they don't really like shooting downwards, so you kind of have to do it like this and then tilt the gun. But yeah, we've got some disgustingness leaking out at the bottom of here now. Going to keep going, going to do a bit more. So we're wanting to like absolutely, this is disgusting, it's absolutely saturating the system now. Yep, vile. Okay, so a little bit of working it through, a little bit of just hit those sears, let the hammer drop. And then I'm going to do it again. So with the hammer dropped, go in, nasty. Now I'm going to put the hammer down, do exactly the same thing again. So you've seen how much I've now squirted into this system. The inside this trigger box, I reckon if I took this off, it'll start dripping in a second. Vile, right, we're going to leave it like that. I don't really care. So what we're talking about here is fixing, well, you saw what the problem was. Right, as always, safety first. Like you guys have seen, like in my last video, you know, BBs do come back and they do even hit me in the eye pro and stuff, so don't be a fool, just put your eye protection on. You only get one set of eyes, not worth it. Right, so you've seen what I've done there. I've not cleaned anything really. I've just gone in, used the pressure of this spraying out to get in there, and let's see what it's done. You guys are going to see it at the same time that I do. So already that's a better start. So just so you guys can see, it's on semi-auto now. And it locks back. Problem solved. No new hammer required. So, to anyone else that has run into this problem, just do what I do. Don't be too complicated about it. Don't immediately assume that your gun's broken. It's probably not. It's probably just a little bit dirty. It's probably just a bit sticky. There's just something not quite meshing perfectly. And rather than digging in and trying to identify a piece of grit in your system, blast it out with some silicone. Just get your gun working again. For me, yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's not broken anymore. And that's literally just spraying in some silicone spray. You know, I simulated it being racked a few times. Yeah, you can see it all like blooming out. You see how absolutely disgusting that is. Wipe off any of that excess. We don't need any of that on there. But I'm just going to be running with a wet system for a little while now, and I'll just let that let all that oil, that silicone, just work its way through. But ultimately, you know, there's not much else I can really do. I don't see the point now in digging into this gun and trying to further identify the problem. And yeah, there you go. I mean, it's only a quick bit of advice, but I really hope this this saves you guys a little bit of torment and a little bit of heartache if you do start running into these problems. Even though I've had this gun for so many years, I was pretty disappointed when my friend said that it was running on, that it was firing full auto. I don't expect my guns to do that. Yeah, I expect them to perform flawlessly, and I'm guessing that you guys are probably the same. You know, you put it on semi, you pull the trigger once, you expect one shot to be fired, no more, no less. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not, that ain't unreasonable. We're not being unreasonable here. But yeah, so if you come across this kind of problem in the future, just get in there with loads of silicone. You can see on the back here, it's all like leaking through. You can see how shiny it is. So I've really filled this system up. I've really kind of like gone on blast. But you can see that was the difference between today is Tuesday and I filmed that other bit on Sunday evening when I got home. So yeah, nothing has happened to the gun since, other than me just absolutely blasting it. I would suggest you guys do the same. Hopefully you found this helpful, useful, interesting. If you have, leave a like. If not, let me know. I can try and improve. But until the next time, guys, take care.